Hello, y'all. Hope y'all are having a fine day. I had a little bit of time, so I thought I might read a story for y'all. Uh, I'm getting this from, it's a Southern Things website. Twas the Southern Night Before Christmas. Kelly Kazanek. I may be saying the name wrong. If so, I apologize. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house the AC was running 'cause this is the South. It was turned down low since Mama had the desire to throw a big Yule log on top of the fire. The stockings that hung by the chimney looked wet because they were Uncle Earl's and his feet tend to sweat. Camel sleeping bags lined the floor for the cousins, who arrived in pickups and jeeps by the dozens. Aunt Livette and Brother Dwight were debating football, loudly discussing the championship bowl, until Mama said arguing was rude if you asked her. Besides, she added, Brother Dwight, you're a pastor. In the kitchen, Meemaw was baking pecan pies. Pawpaw was nodding in a way that looked wise. Turned out he was asleep in his old Barco lounger after eating honey-baked ham, the old scrounger. Visions of bass boats danced in his head, and a shiny new shotgun filled with lead. A grin started forming at the curve of his lips as he dreamed of Santa and his sackful of gifts. The children were dreaming instead of new toys, of ATVs or dirt bikes that made lots of noise. No need for snowsuits or sleds or that type of present. The weather around here is always quite pleasant. Soon all was ready for old Santa Claus, and they all went to bed, even Pawpaw. Mama left out some biscuits and a glass of sweet tea in case Santa needed a burst of energy. Soon they heard a loud noise like the roar of an engine. Dad grabbed his gun and pulled it under his chin. Then he saw it was Santa who was riding a lawnmower, but deer season was over, so the barrel was lowered. Then Santa stepped in, leaving Prince with his boots, sweating in spite of his seersucker suit. Dad hollered, close the door, were you raised in a barn? Santa merely ho-hoed and set out gifts tied with yarn. There's one for Junior, Bubba, and little Becky Sue, a new reel for Pawpaw, and a bass boat too. And fresh socks for Earl, Santa said with a drawl. Hope you like 'em, he winked. Merry Christmas, y'all. Then he turned from the tree, tossed his sack on his shoulder, when he heard Becky Sue and turned to scold her. Back to bed, little one, he said to the tot. It's late for young'uns to be up, bless your heart. As he stepped out the door to give his John Deere a crank, Becky Sue said, Santa always heard you were a Yank. From way up yonder up north, where y'all don't say y'all, where people talk funny and not with a drawl. Santa laughed, and his tummy sloshed with sweet tea. You heard wrong, Becky Sue, Santa told her with glee. I'm Southern, of course, born and cornbread. Then he patted her head and sent her to bed. They all heard him exclaim as he roared across the lawn. Blessed Christmas to all, and then he was gone. Pawpaw's eyes gleamed the next morning when he saw his new boat. Mama said, enjoy it, but don't forget the thank you note. Well, that's it. I know it's a little silly, but I hope y'all enjoy.